Good to go.
Alrighty.
All right. Okay, sorry, you're a little bit delayed there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right. What do you want to touch on first, bud?
Well, I was kind of thinking, with everyone being quarantined at home and all that kind of jazz. So I gotta ask you, how's your diet been and with your workouts and everything?
So my diet has been probably like everybody else's, not the best. My workouts have been kind of solid. I'm still working out roughly like 3 to 5 days out of the week, but yeah, my diet hasn't been the best. But I kind of planned for it even before this happened because we all knew something like this was going to happen, like ish, right? We all knew that we are going to be in the house for at least a week or something like that. So
Yeah.
basically, I'm not I'm not eating any less. I'm still eating volume. I'm just eating a lot less crap that I used to eat, like said so snacks at night. Um, I've stopped eating a lot of snacks at night, which is kind of what I've been doing for years since I even started working out. So I took that off the list, and I've been doing a lot more cardio. Luckily, I was blessed to have a weighted vest to be able to work out with,
Nice.
so I can choose if I want 60 pounds up to 100 pounds, and I've been doing runs with those every day. Been doing pull ups, the normal push ups, kind of like the prisoner workout. I don't know if you ever heard of the prisoner workout.
I think I've heard of it, but yeah, it's probably a little vague. Yeah.
It's well, I mean, it's pretty much what it says, right? So basically, when you're in prison, you're confined to a set area, like
Oh,
isolated, kind of like we are, right?
right, right.
So they'll do anything ranging from like diamond push-ups to a bunch of different kind of push-ups, sit-ups, a lot of different body weight movement. And I mean, if you look at any prisoner out there, they're they're in shape, right? So it's got to work.
Yeah.
So I've been doing basically that. It can be anywhere from like I'm not even going through said schedule of workouts. It's like if I'm at home sitting playing video games and um, there's a round where I'm not playing. All right, so instead of sitting here doing nothing, going on my phone, I'll drop down to the ground and do like 10, 20 different sets of push-ups, right? Because it's quick. So I've been keeping up. I don't know, like it's tough, but we work around it. That's for sure. What have you been doing?
Well, kind of the same thing. I don't really have a lot of equipment at home. So that kind of makes it difficult. And so as of right now, with whatever equipment I have, so I have a dumbbell that's already kind of like you actually have to put the weights on. So with that, and it's already kind of like melted in. The ends are melted in, so it's hard to. I don't even think I can ever get the weights off. So it's about 40 to 45 pounds. So
Okay.
I generally like to use that for my arms because that's about my max that I can do in terms of like reps. And they're fairly heavy for me already, so that's not bad. And I do have like a bar that I can put some weights on, so I can work my arms that way. But in terms of like deadlifts or squatting or things like that, I mean, the squatting's really hard because I don't really have a lot of weight to begin with. And I
Mm-hmm.
know it's like you don't have to go crazy amount of weight, but I need to have something that's gonna give me some resistance to actually work my glutes because I'm used to doing like 365 pounds. So it's
Big boy
it's
weight,
hard.
eh?
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
Um, so besides that, I try to do like well, for chest day, I'll do like push-ups. Try to do incline, decline push-ups. Um, try to look at videos. I told you that Travis Swinkworth, he's like my diet coach. Um, I think I'm almost done my training with him. But like before everything kind of went like crazy, he sent me some videos. He said, "Oh, watch these home workout videos. You can use your body weight to work some of your muscles." So I watched some of those. I watched some other ones on my own time, and it's kind of crazy how many body workouts you can do to work certain muscles, whether that be like your delts, your chest, like your pecs, and then obviously you have core, which is pretty self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, besides that, like I think the first week I struggled. Now it's kind of getting easier, but I think the physical side of it is easier, but the mental factor is getting worse because it's like well, how long do I have to do this for? Because between me and you, I go into the gym. I love going there.
Yep.
I genuinely enjoy lifting weights. I like going. But this I do not enjoy. I have no motivation to work at home.
Yep.
I hate doing having to use my body weight or use the weights that I have. So it's definitely hard for sure. So if you're asking me how it's going, it's bittersweet,
It's
I guess.
yeah.
It's I'm glad to have at least be able to work out somehow, but at the same time, it's not like I have the best stuff. So
So you were saying that working out from home, it is hard to get the motivation. I can agree with that, and so can probably tens of thousands of other people. And the reason why I believe that it is because when we go to the gym, we're getting an escape from our responsibilities. You know what I mean? Getting away from life. You know, it's not just the gym. It's not just the gym. It's a coping mechanism for a lot of people. At least for myself. I don't know about you. Um, and I've realized that like it's very hard to stay like I'm a very very positive person, like at the end of the day I am, but I've noticed that since I haven't been there, it's definitely affecting myself, like my mentality state.
mhm.
And yeah, I just didn't expect this at all. I didn't realize how much it actually truly meant to me. And hopefully I heard some talk about, I don't know exactly if it's our gym specifically, but I heard some talk about May 1st we might be able to see some gyms opening, but I don't know if that's true. Have you heard anything about that or no?
I have not heard anything. Like
No.
I've heard some rumors about like even the NHL saying, "Oh, we're gonna
Mm.
push the season."
So
I'm like,
everybody's saying it. Okay, I got
yeah.
it.
So I'm hearing rumors about the NHL. They're going to start the playoff season, and it's gonna be extended. And I'm thinking, okay, so what is there gonna be no fans in the stands? Okay, I understand that, but you're still having players getting together. And if you think that by May, or I think they said May, the middle of May, they were going to start doing it. If you think by the middle of May that everything's going to be okay by then, or it's going to be cleared up, you have another thing coming because
Dude,
it's not. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. Um, but
so
just here I am doing all this negative thinking here. I mean, all you can do is try to stay positive, but I'm trying to stay realistic. You
yeah,
know.
you can't be faking it out there. That's for sure. I don't know
Absolutely.
if it was you or not, but like I know nothing about the fighting industry, nothing about UFC, but I've seen someone on my Facebook post that the UFC Federation or something like that is buying an island to start their fights or something like that. Have you heard anything about that?
I have. Okay, so about the whole thing, I'm a huge UFC fan. So like I've been following it since like Anderson Silva lost his belt to Chris Weidman. So that's like God, like 6, 7 years ago.
Okay.
Okay, so I think what happened was they were gonna have the UFC 249 event. So originally it was gonna be Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson. So what happened was I think they had a place booked and they were thinking Florida, but the problem was Khabib went back to Russia, and then the problem is when he tried to come back, that's when they said no more flights, like for sure, like no nothing. So he couldn't get out of Russia, so they tried to get another guy to fight Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, and
Okay.
they were going to fight in Florida, but then Florida said no, we're not letting that happen, even with no fighters in or no fans in the stands. So they're like, okay, so Dana White's like, okay, well, screw that shit. I'm not putting all the money into the advertisement and everything. So he was thinking about buying this private island. I'm not 100% sure where that is. But then something fell through. I don't have all the info on that, but something fell through. And now with the UFC 250, maybe they might just turn to UFC 250. Now they're just trying to make a stack card for May 9th, and it sucks because I got to work that night. So
Oh,
I'm gonna have to try to switch my shifts. Um, but yeah, so I think they're trying to make it one big stack card to kind of make up for to the fans for everything. But I still don't know how that's going to happen because that's we're not talking about just two people that you're trying to get to the island for the main event. You're talking like so usually a main event or like a main or the main card is about 5 or 6 fights. So you do that times two, you do the math, and then plus the prelims, and then there's about maybe 5 or 6 fights on there. So that's a lot of shit. And then you got to think about the trainers. The cutmen, like the referees, the announcers, like Joe Rogan, like all the
Yeah.
imaginable people you have to bring there. I mean, obviously they would be smart about it, but I'm trying to stay optimistic about it. But they are hoping that that's going to happen, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, so you were talking about it wouldn't be too big of a deal bringing 2 or 3 or 10 people there, right? But it's definitely a big factor when you're going to bring, I don't know, hundreds to thousands of people. And there was another company, I'm not really sure. Netflix ended up making a documentary about them. I think it was called like Firefest or something like that, where basically there was a rapper that created like this big scheme. Basically, you were to buy these tickets, and once you bought the tickets, you were invited to this private island, and basically there'd be anybody from like Nickelback, just like very 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 popular bands were going to be there. It was like $1,000 per ticket, something crazy like that. The only people that were really going were like Instagram influencers and all that. But basically, when they showed up, everything was a lie. All the tents that they rented out for thousands of dollars for the couple of nights were just like actual little hut tents and everything. It was a big old blowover. I suggest you checking it out. I'm not really sure. I'm going to proofread myself here on that because I'm not sure if I'm calling it the right thing. But yeah, basically, I don't think this island thing will work out at all. It's just sounds too good to be true.
Well, and that's it. Wait, are you talking about the thing you were just talking about, or the UFC
UFC,
event?
UFC.
Yeah, yeah. It's if they do it, it's really hard to say. I understand that they got to make money. They're a company, but you got to realize that everybody else is hurting. And I remember I was bringing this comment. I was talking to somebody about this. Like people got to realize that it's not just about one person. It's about all of us. Like everybody's or not suffering, but everybody's in this together. Everyone has to sacrifice their life a little bit, and sacrifice the things that they love and what they do and the money that they're making. Um, and it's not just about us anymore. It's about our future. So
Exactly.
like we have to, everyone has to be on the same page, because if we're not, and that's a problem. Like you're always gonna have some people that are they're just always gonna be selfish, and until we get everyone on board, that's only where we're gonna stop the virus, I think. Um, but yeah, I want to kind of go back. We kind of went sidetracking into UFC,
Sorry.
but going back to like home workouts. So for you, you said that you're not really changing your diet too much. Like you haven't really cut back or anything, just besides
No.
the snacks, right?
And even that, like, if you know me well, like, I'm not like, yes, I'm really into working out and everything, but like, I've never been a huge keen person on dieting. Like, I've always stuck to the same thing. I really don't believe in bulking slash cutting anymore. I haven't done that since like 2 months now. No, 2 months, 2 years now. Sorry. And the reason for that is just because I don't find it enjoyable. Like once I do something that's not enjoyable, I obviously it's not enjoyable, so I don't want to do it anymore. So you know what I mean. So
Hmm.
basically, for the past like year and a half, 2 years, I've been eating the same damn thing. Maybe a couple snacks here and there, but basically, I just wake up. I have the 5 French toast, like Greg. I don't know if you know who Greg Doucette is.
Greg Doucette. Why does that sound really familiar? Is that the? No, I'm thinking of that one swimmer that has a huge diet. I saw somebody do like a food
Oh,
challenge
that's
or
Michael
something.
Phelps. Yeah, not
Michael
him.
Phelps, yeah.
No. Greg Doucette is an IFBB pro. He's 4 foot nothing. He's the shortest little guy ever. He's about 40 years old. He's a pro, obviously. I think he's even got a couple world records for the amount of pounds per deadlift for reps. Anyway, he's a legend. He's located on YouTube. He's got about 400,000 subscribers. Suggest you check him out. He's a dietitian. He's not a doctor. That's his main thing that he says in every video, just so he doesn't get like, you know what I mean, like hate from actual medical professionals.
Yeah.
But basically, he does three to six French toast every morning with egg whites only. So you get like 50 grams of protein, you get like 80, 90 grams of carbs, low grams of fat because you're not using the whole eggs, right? You're just using the egg whites.
Right.
And I had that with no sugar added syrup. And then I do lunchtime, I do a couple wraps with some chicken or lean ground turkey, any kind of lean meat. And then come supper time, I do the same thing, but I add double wraps with it and call her a day. And then, of course, your protein shakes and all that. I have about 2 or 3 of those a day. So
Damn.
definitely, yeah. It's nothing like at the end of the day, like, I understand a lot of people have problems dieting during this quarantine or whatever because you're not doing anything, so you want to snack and all that. A good alternative is popcorn. I get it from him too. Instead of going to your local grocery store and getting a big bag of chips or Doritos or whatever like that, go ahead and get a box of popcorn without any butter added. It's called like Smart Pop. Have you ever heard of it? Grab some of that. You still get the crunchy, you get the filling of it, and no fat. And a little bit of carbs never hurt anybody. So it's basically what I do at my late nights when I watch Netflix at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll go ahead and grab a bag of popcorn. So it's definitely a recommendation.
That's smart, man.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. So you said you get sugar-free syrup. What's the brand that you get?
I get Ed Smith is my number one syrup to get. You can get it at either Walmart. I know for a fact No Frills has it, and I think Sobe supplies it as well. So I get that, and then I also get Walden Farms.
Oh yeah, brother. Walden Farms, it's good.
Yes, sir.
But
what?
I only like the pancake shit. Everything else tastes terrible.
So the one major thing that I do not recommend from them is their, actually two, I should say. It's their chocolate syrup.
Yes.
Like pig fat, whatever the hell it is in it, and then their jam. Their jam is disgusting.
Oh my god.
They're like, oh my god. I've taken 2 of my fingers just to test the texture quality, and as soon as I put my 2 fingers in this thing, it's like, and then like it gets stuck in the jam, man. It's so gross. Anyway, after I did that, I threw it out. Do not recommend it.
But man, you know what I do not also recommend is, so I was like, okay, I'll try their marshmallow fluff. I'm like, this could be good on a pancake. I was like, I don't know. Well, I tried it, and honestly, it tastes like chemicals.
I've read a little bit about them, and they definitely do get around their calorie free by using chemicals that I can't even pronounce. And what I was taught in school, at least, is if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. But here I am still eating it because you want to keep those calories low. So I don't know. Who cares, right? At the end of the day, as long as you keep the calories low during this pandemic, you're good to go. A couple walks in the park, shouldn't gain any fluff.
There you go. Well, the sugar-free syrup I use, it's called Mrs. Buttersworth. It has a couple calories in it.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. I've seen it.
It's pretty good. It's not bad. Yeah. So you were talking about what you eat in the day. So my day, depending on when I do my workouts, because I actually am assigned to have like a pre-workout meal and then post-workout. So if I had a perfect day, it'd be like say if I had to work afternoons. So maybe I might start my morning off with my pre-workout meal. I want to work out in the morning, so my pre-workout meal would be like I think about 45 grams of oats. Actually, no, I'm not gonna screw the numbers because it's gonna take me forever. So I have the oats with I think a scoop and a half of protein, whatever protein I want, a little bit of normal natural peanut butter, and then my post-workout meal is now sweet potatoes, ground beef, like lean ground beef, and peppers. And then my breakfast meal would have been like a protein pancake. So it'd be like, I'm just gonna say it's a protein pancake. I'm not gonna tell you how I made it because that's just gonna take me longer to explain. So I have the protein pancake with the sugar-free syrup, and then with the natural peanut butter on top, and with the pancake syrup, like the sugar-free syrup, you can put on as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then my first meal is chicken breast, sweet potatoes, mixed veggies, and then my second meal is extra lean inside round steak with sweet potatoes and green veggies and carrots.
Wow. See, yeah, that's way more than me. But I guess when you're paying $2,000 a month or whatever for a meal plan and a workout plan, you got to keep those numbers up, though.
Well,
What? How many calories is that?
I'm sorry.
How many calories a day is that?
Uh, last I, cause I like when Travis sends everything to me, it's all like written out. I think the last time I checked, it was about 2,000, maybe 2,000. I would have to look at it again.
Okay, so it's
Really,
really.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is normally I worry about more about I just remember the numbers of how much everything. So everything is all weighted. So like I was saying before with my oats, like I'm not gonna explain everything, but like for my oats, it would be 45 grams of oats, scoop and a half of protein, which is about 45 grams, depending on like what kind of protein you get. I mean, you can't be perfect. Um, and you have that, and then the natural peanut butter, I think it's about 7 grams right now. Um, but obviously, right now, I think my training's ending with Travis, and just because it only goes for so long, and then you start up again with him. But I think I'm stopping on my own just to kind of. It's hard for I think it's hard on him. It's hard for me. Like it's hard on him because he has to figure out, well, what can I really do for Luke because he's at home. He's not getting the best workouts. I mean, I could tell him what to eat, but it's harder and then it's harder for me because it's like, well, I want to do those things. I want to keep my strength, but half my workouts I can't really get much strength out of anyway. I mean, you can do
Hmm.
planks, you can do other things, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're not. My squats are gone, my deadlifts are gone. Like two of the bigger uh, strength strength training workouts or exercises. So you know, um, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel that on the. So basically, you know me, but if whoever's watching doesn't know me, my main lifts, like when I go into the gym, I'm not really doing many machine workouts usually. I'm literally just doing my three main lifts, which is squat, bench, and deadlift, and then maybe a couple isolation movements here and there for about 25 to 30 minutes right after. But basically, not having those three component lifts has definitely drastically affected my workouts, man. It's been insane. So I can't wait to get back into the gym and kind of pick up where we left off, maybe, hopefully, if we're lucky. If not, I guess we're going to start again at noob gains because it's whatever.
Yeah,
Can only
it's
do
a
what
new
you can do. Yeah, it's definitely a new
new
journey.
journey, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and now that kind of brings us in the next topic. So when life goes back to normal, like I mean, how's it gonna affect things? Like how do you feel this is gonna affect things?
Okay, so I'm not a um, economy nerd or whatever they call themselves, but my sister's boyfriend is, and he's basically saying that um, it's going to affect the economy really, really drastically.
Oh,
I don't know if
100%.
you have anything to touch on that.
I don't doubt them.
Yeah. So that I think that the socialism will, like, I guess, is that the right word? But basically, your friends are going to be affected. You know what I mean? I feel like some people are going to take it the wrong way on why haven't you came and visit me during this whatever, even if social distancing is still a thing that you got to do. I think there are some butthurt people out there in the world that could be your friends. You know what I mean? That will kind of use this as an excuse on saying why you didn't come to see me or whatever. So I think a couple friendships will definitely be ruined because of this. Um, what else? What else? A lot of people's jobs, obviously. I don't know if you, but unfortunately, I did get laid off. I got laid off as of last week, I think we're going on. Either a week or a week and a half. I can't even remember. I don't even remember the date today. Anyway, a lot of people don't know if they're going back to a job. So that's definitely something to be worried about. Definitely scary for sure. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's about it, man. What about you? What do you think is going to happen?
Well,
Zombies?
well, shit. If it is, I better get Lucille ready. So
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if you watch The Walking Dead, but
Buddy, I have a sweater that says Lucille, so I'll get it in another video.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking get Lucille ready. She's
Yeah.
fucking thirsty, man. Um, but no, seriously. Well, for sure, when you talk about jobs, I think for sure, like the auto industry, for sure. I think that will be booming because obviously they need to start making stuff again, right? I mean, people are going to start getting the jobs back. People are going to start making money again, so they're going to have to continue buying or building parts for cars. So I'm sure the factories will be like skyrocketing again. Um, I think for sure a lot of people are gonna like obviously the stock market will go back to normal. People will make their money back and then some maybe. Um, and then for sure, maybe not right away, but obviously the housing market will go up. I mean, right now it's starting to drop because of what's going on. But I think maybe 4 or 5 months after everything's kind of gone back to normal, I think for sure that the housing market will go back up. So if I suggest to anybody that's gonna, excuse me, anyone that's going to buy a house or a condo in the first couple of months is probably a good idea. It like for me, it really sucked because I was actually I had plans. Like I've been working a lot. I've been saving. I've been meaning to buy a condo. I had a couple places that I was kind of looking at. Um, but things happen. But anyway, going back to with the economy, besides the auto industry, I think in terms of like jobs, like for me, like where I work, community living. I mean, community living will continue to go forward as per usual. Like because we have to work, we have to support people, so that will continue. Um, but I think when you say the social aspect of our society, I think there'll be a good percentage of people that will kind of will they change for the better? That's hard to say. I think a lot of people will be a lot more appreciative of what we have. So when we go to the bars, we're gonna hit the bars like we just turned 19, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
could see
think a lot of
that.
people are gonna be like really excited to go out and not take life for granted. Um, yeah, and I think that people are going to be a lot more appreciative of
Hmm.
things that we can't obviously do right now. Um, yeah, it's going to be different, and I think not just that, but also I think people are going to continue the safe hand washing practices just because we're in such a habit of doing it all the time. Um, and I think that also there, once everything ends, you're gonna see so much shit on the internet, like people making memes about, oh,
Oh,
the
buddy.
coronavirus. So it's gonna be insane. Like we went through the phase, well, we still are, but we went through the phase of the coronavirus, or like China starting the coronavirus, and then it went from that to the coronavirus. Now it's Tiger King memes, and then it'll go to from that to the
So
end
you
of.
think memes will be booming then? That's
Oh,
what you think? Yeah.
exactly. It's just gonna be.
Oh my
Like,
goodness, yeah,
they are
that's
funny, but some of them, it's just like, God, give it a rest.
it's. I'm not really. I'm gonna quickly touch on this because I really don't want to stay on this topic. I know nothing about that tiger thing, so I don't really understand any of the memes that I come across on my Facebook, and there is a lot of them. Everybody's sharing this stuff, so I don't agree with those ones as of yet. But yeah, I do think that social media will be definitely affected big time because of this during and after. So it's good to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see how things go. Um, I mean, as of right now, even if, like, because I know in Chatham, so the Retro Fest got canceled. It was announced that it got canceled maybe last month, maybe around there.
Hmm.
Um, Even if things went back to normal at the end of this month, Retrofest still wouldn't happen because I mean you're not gonna get that shit figured out in a month. That's just even if you try to, it'd be half-assed, and I just don't think that it's gonna happen. I mean that's why Retrofest, that's why they canceled it so early because they had no certainty that it was good. Everything was gonna be good in the next week or whatever. So something like Retrofest takes months to prepare for, in terms of money and just the planning of everything, trying to make it better every year. So I think with them canceling it was probably a smart move. It sucks, but I mean, I can guarantee you this coronavirus isn't going to be gone by the time Retrofest. So, before Retrofest comes. So I'm not hurt over it. Things get canceled. We just have to live with it and we move on. So, with the Retrofest being canceled, honestly, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't really care that much. I like Retrofest, but when you grow up in Chatham, you do it every year for the last 25 years of your life. I don't care, man.
It's the same thing every year, brother. Don't worry. It sucks though, in a sense, because it is one of our only highlights in Chatham
It
to look
is.
forward to. But like you said, it's the same thing every year. It's the same people every year. Is the funny thing is there's never any newcomers. It's always the old guys. So It's gonna be interesting. But what about Ribfest? Do you think what do you think's going on with that?
I don't know, man.
Why not?
I, that's another event. I don't really care about it.
No,
Like I
that
don't
was
mean
a
to be.
big one. That
It
was a
is a
big
big
one
one.
in Chatham.
It is a big one, and like a lot of people really do enjoy going to it. So I feel sorry for the people that do look forward to going to it. Um, but I mean, we just have to take day by day. But that's also another thing that I think that it's not just a couple weeks planning kind of situation. It takes months to plan and to fund. And well, I'm not sure how much funding there really is because I mean, it's more people bringing their business out there. But still, like the planning part is not just the week before kind of deal. It takes a month, at least a month for sure to plan it. I'm sure. Um, so we'll see what happens with Red Fest. Isn't that at the end of July or is that the beginning of July?
I I think it's at the beginning of July, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm
think
pretty
I think
sure.
I think you're right.
Um, yeah, it definitely sucks. It sucks that we're not American in the sense though, because have you heard that Florida is supposed to start reopening their beaches? Have you read that anywhere?
No.
Yeah, they're supposed to. I read it on
Oh my God.
earlier today. They're supposed to start reopening the beaches to the public. So
I
that's
just
going to
want
be interesting to see.
I just I don't understand that. Like that makes no sense. Like if you think about it, and I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna throw my 2 cents and guess that it's Donald Trump that made that decision. I don't know if that's for certain. Um,
I
but he
don't know
seems like
about that, but I know that he is trying to get the borders to reopen between Canada and U.S. But
okay. I can. Sorry.
yeah, I don't think he has any involvement in the beaches. I think that's more of the whatever the Florida Senate or whatever they're called. I
Okay.
think that's their domain, right? So
Okay. Like more like their own like the governor maybe
yeah, the
might.
governor of Florida, because
Okay.
it's their district, right? They work as districts in the
Right.
states. So, but
Well,
yeah,
that's still it's still insane. Whoever's making that decision, if that is true, because I mean, you got to think like, you know, the United States is the only country with the highest, or is the country with the highest number of cases right now. They almost make up probably over half of the cases right now, almost half
mhm,
the cases that are going on. So it's like, does that like, and I mean, you got to think Florida, right? So you think of the beaches, you know how crowded those beaches would be. I just don't understand. Like, okay, let's say that, okay, you want to reopen things to make more money or whatever their plan is, why they would want to reopen everything. But the reality is, everything's already bad right now. Like, things aren't getting contained in the States right now. Why would you open it up more? Why would you spread it more? To get the healthcare workers infected too? Like, I
you
don't get
know,
it.
do you know why?
I don't know
My
why.
my
Yeah.
answer for it is I thought you lagged out there for a second. My
That's
answer to that is it's because it's Florida. Florida is known for doing the most stupid things in the world, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
well,
They probably used it against like it's against our rights or something like that. So I don't really know, but I do know that I just posted up to the video there saying from an article from USA Today that they are reopening it from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and then shutting down till 5 p.m. and then reopening at 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. So they
that's
have specific hours to make it better, I guess, but it's still opening. Don't really matter.
still stupid, but
Yeah, it's still stupid, but I don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't end up happening like that here. So there has I've noticed like because I go on my drives and all that by myself, obviously, gloved up, everything ready to go. But I have drastically noticed the traffic, the distance in traffic lately, man. It's like it's a ghost town everywhere I go. So it's good to see.
are you still trying to like find abandoned places to
Yeah, I'm doing more scouts for right now during because of the pandemic thing right now. Because I don't want to be called on. I know you can't be charged yet for being out in public or whatever because I know Brantford. Was it Brantford that someone got ticketed $800 for rollerblading or something like that?
uh no, it was I don't think it was Brampton.
No,
Brantford, not Brantford or Brampton. Um I think it was Oakville.
Oakville. Okay.
I think it was Oakville that family got ticketed. Like, I know a lot of people are. a lot of people were like saying, "Oh, like government's out to get you" and all that. The first thing that people have to realize is that it's not the government that's coming out to get you. The government, yes, is in control because people can't follow simple rules. But the family, should they have got ticketed? No. That
No, not
cop
at all.
was probably just
Some
some
douche.
was just some idiot that took went a little well could have been maybe I don't know how the cop kind of saw the situation. He could have seen it as like, oh, the family's too close. But when you see the guy and his kids, you got to make the connection. They're family. They're all together. They live at the same house. They're rollerblading. Can they not rollerblade? Like,
Yeah, I
come
don't
on.
think it even,
Like go bust someone that's doing cracking down the alley or
which
something.
literally
Like,
is probably 5 minutes away. Someone is probably doing that, but I don't even think it counts though when you are hanging out with the ones that you live with. I don't think the rules apply there at all. Does it? I might be wrong.
I
I don't think
don't.
you have to social distance because you're inside the house no matter what with them, right? So you're not going to be 6 feet apart all the time in the house.
Well, I think it's common sense. I mean, if you can try to avoid being in close proximate, in close distance with your family members, you probably should. Like, I'm not saying be a total ghost in the house, but if you could try to keep some common sense in the whole thing. Like with, I guess I'll use an example like my house. Like I live in the basement, and rarely do I have my family members come down just because my room's in the basement, the rec room's there, so I don't really have, you can see the curtain. Like this is my room, so you can see the curtain there. Like that's my door. So I don't really have, a room. So nobody really comes down. So for me, like it's kind of easy for me to kind of stay away from everyone. But even when I have to talk to my parents about something, or we're just catching up, whatever, we try to keep our distance for sure.
Hmm.
Like when we're sitting in the living room, I'm not gonna purposely go sit next to my dad. Like there's no reason for it when we can sit apart. Like, so I guess when it comes down to that, to answer your question, I think it's just common sense. I don't think
Yeah,
there's a rule. It's just common sense.
which is lacked very much so nowadays. So that's probably why people are believing
That's
that it's
noted.
hard to do.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is, right? Um, well, with Retrofest being canceled and probably Ripfest most likely going to be canceled. In Windsor, I know my grandmother, my grandma and grandpa, they live in LaSalle. Well, basically Windsor.
Hmm.
Um, so they said that the art in the park there was canceled, which I guess that's kind of a big thing in Windsor as well.
What is it called? I've lived there and I'm not even really familiar with it.
It's
Art of
called Art in the Park.
Art and the Park. Okay, so
Yeah.
is it as big as like the light show that they do during Christmas, or is it not that big?
I'm not really 100% sure. I don't think I've ever gone. I just know, like, I know of it, but I don't know the details and so forth.
Okay, we'll go ahead and bring it up here because I'm not really too familiar about it. Art in the Park spring programs, plant sales, Windsor. Oh, so it's a big old plant sale kind of thing. All right. Um. Yeah. So it says the cancellations are deemed unavoidable due to the COVID-19, so they
Right.
most likely will be closed. So
And
that's
that's good.
unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, I think anything that has people gathered together, it's gonna be canceled, unfortunately. But
Yeah, they said anything more than 10 people, I think, is the rule, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
like I know like it's so many things that I was looking forward to got canceled. Like for example, a friend of mine, friends of mine, Kyle and Brianna, they're getting married this year, and they had a stag and do. Now, what happened was they were originally supposed to have it in March, or was it March? No, sorry, it was beginning of April, but then they had to switch it to April 18th, which obviously is today, and. But anyway, before they canceled it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Because I used my vacation time. I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I can go on the 18th," and then as a
Mhm.
COVID as the COVID started to spread everywhere, I was like, well, I don't think they're going to have it because now they announced that you only can have a gathering of like 10 people. So unless you're just having a select full of 10 people at your stag and doe, I don't think you're having one. And then they announced that they canceled it because obviously for the COVID. But you know, it still worked out. Like they're doing like the raffles online and they're doing all that kind of stuff online. So it's still good for them. But it still sucks because I never really gone to a steak and dough. Like, sorry, I went to one when I was like 17 with with an ex from high school, and it was fun. But like I couldn't drink, and it was, you know, it wasn't fun. I couldn't drink. I wasn't really into it. It was like a last minute thing. She's like, hey, she called me up. She's like, hey, you want to go? I'm like, oh, okay, but yeah, I was like 17 at the time, so I don't really count that. It wasn't really fun. It was just kind of like a high school kind of romance kind of thing. Like, hey, yeah, you want to come with me? Like, because I don't want to be by myself, kind of cliche. So, besides that, I haven't really ever gone to a stag and do, so I was so excited, and you know, it got canceled. So it is what it is. But I'm sure there'll be more stag and does. So.
That's crazy. You can't. You never. You only been to one. Like I've probably been to like
And
four or
even the one
five.
I still don't really consider it my first one. So
That's
like
crazy,
really I
man.
haven't really gone to one.
That's nuts. They're a lot of fun. So if you do end up getting the chance, tell me all about it because I loved every single one that I went to. So
Man, I can't wait to go to one.
we are talking about celebrations and stuff that have been canceled, unfortunately. And I don't know if I told you this, but me and my sister were supposed to leave to Mexico March 25th
Oh yeah.
for a 7 to 8 day cruise,
Wow.
and that got canceled. So that's unfortunate. So I was really bummed about it. We knew about COVID during probably like a week before we planned it or whatever. Like we knew it was a thing, right? But we didn't think it was going to get as bad as it actually did, and affect the cruise lines as like it affect the cruise lines more than anything. It's affected around the whole entire world, like
Oh,
110%.
100%.
So
Absolutely.
when we heard that happen, we were still going to go. We knew how bad it was, but we paid a lot of money to go to buy the tickets or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
we went ahead and did it. And then within 2 days after the fact, we got an email saying it's canceled. But we did get our money fully refunded, and we got a $600 onboard credit for our next cruise. So
Wow.
yeah, so we kind of won in the sense, but like I said, I could be in Mexico right now, but well, I could have been just getting back, I should say, but who knows? I could have got the virus while I was out there, right? So
True. So it's
everything happens for a
you're
reason.
lucky. Exactly. Like it's kind of like a butterfly effect, I guess, in a way. I don't know if that'd be a
Facts.
butterfly effect, but I don't know if that would
If if
qualify.
if I would have went and caught it, it would have been right.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that would be. Yeah, or no,
Yeah,
I think butterfly effect is when it's like if you, it's like kind of like a. I'm not sure if it's when something that should have happened or could have happened, but because this happened, it stopped you from having that event in your life that could have turned out for the worst or best. I think. I think that's. I'm not 100% sure.
yep, that's exactly it. Any it says
Okay.
phenomenon whereby any minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. So that's factual. This virus is a butterfly effect.
You know, it's interesting because when you said that you're going on vac, I was planning on going on vacation from the 21st to the 29th in Florida. Florida,
Everybody
which is
was, dude.
and that's it. Like we were gonna go the week after everyone came back from spring break. So we were thinking, oh, it's not gonna be as busy, it won't be as bad, we'll have to deal with like all the stupid college kids and all the the kids gotta get drunk and be rowdy and it'll be awesome. But at the end of the day, I think I'm glad that we didn't go because well, we couldn't because even when we made the decision that we couldn't go or that we didn't want to go, I think the second day after we made that decision, they closed like they made the decision to close down the borders. So either way, we weren't going. So but
Yeah,
there's going to be other days to go, or there'll be other times to do vacation. So
we hope. Who knows? We might be like
we
this for the
hope.
rest of our lives, man.
Yeah.
So
No, even if we found a vaccine tomorrow, it's not going to, you're not going to have enough to to go around for at least a year or half a year. It takes so long to make that mass produce of vaccines. So
Yeah, I really do believe that this won't be completely. I mean, it'll be talked about on my grandkids' grandkids. You know what I mean? But I don't think that it'll be resolved within 2020.
no, I
So
don't
I
think
don't
so
think
either.
so.
I think the numbers could really diminish by the end of 2020. Like maybe by Christmas, it could be something where maybe it's going down a lot, but
Yeah,
we still have to self isolate, or we still have to be in the quarantine, just because the problem is, and they were talking about it, there being more waves of this virus coming through. They're thinking the problem is that some governments or maybe some countries might allow everything to kind of open up, like it can be kind of semi free. You can go out, you can maybe go to the stores now, you can go shop, but then you're gonna see the increase because now people are going out, and then they're not washing their hands as much because they're like, oh, everything's all good now, and then you'll see the spike go up again, and everyone's has to go back inside and start the same shit all over again. So,
so in a sense, the fear mongering that they're doing is definitely a positive aspect out of it. Then you know what I mean? Because they put in the fear mongering of washing your hands all the time. And if we get the A-OK that this virus just, I don't know, we wake up tomorrow and it just disappeared, and we all just go out about our normal ways, most people's normal ways, where you touch a bunch of door handles, you go home, eat a sandwich right away, and you contract the virus, then you're back to square one. So I
exactly,
could see what you're talking about.
and we've seen that it spreads so rapidly, like so quickly and rapidly, um, it's insane. It's insane. Like I truly believe, like in Chatham, at least in Chatham, in our hometown, I've seen most people respect the rules. Like, I mean, I guess all the people I've seen have respect the rules. Um, I guess I mean, you try to. I think there's gonna be those people that are gonna try to bend the rules a little bit. Like, I guess they said that you could have like driveway beers or whatever. So if you have like a neighbor you drink with, you can like sit in your driveway and have a beer and kind of chat across the street or whatever. But I don't know. I think I don't know. I think the whole thing's stupid, because the more they bend the rules, the more people are going to be like, well, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do this, and then
Mm-hmm.
go back to people doing stupid things again and spreading the virus. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
there's
could
only
get into it. It gets me all fired up. Sorry.
Sorry, I agree with that because there's only so much you can stretch or bend an elastic before it actually starts breaking, right? So
Absolutely.
I can agree with that. Um, I think we pretty much hit all of our topics. I don't know if you want to talk about anything else or.
I don't know. I mean, that's up to you, man.
We're coming up on our. I think we're at a 1 hour mark now. Yeah,
Uh,
we're about 10
yeah,
minutes shy, so
yeah,
it's up
but
to you, man. I've talked about everything I need to talk about. So
I think we're solid, man. Are
all
you
right,
still
buddy.
down to you still down to do some Modern Warfare tonight, or?
Hell yeah, man! And basically, we can if we end up doing another podcast, we can touch upon that. Have like a gaming series if you want to say so. That way, we
Yeah,
don't kind of intertwine both kind of podcast topics, right? You know what I mean?
100%, man.
All right, all right. I'll see you on the other side, boy.
Yeah, man.
Peace out,
Thanks,
brother.
man.
Thanks,
Thanks for being on, buddy.
thanks for having me, man. As always. All right, we're done. Oh wait.